People magazine has named its new Sexiest Man Alive, and it's none other than Chris Evans. Let me take a look. Hold on, pause. Oh, he looks good. Okay. Little scruffy. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who was named Sexiest Man Alive in 2016, congratulated Chris on the set of their new film, but Chris mistakenly called him the former Sexiest Man Alive. Watch.
Weren't you Sexiest Man Alive in 2016?
I'm Sexiest Man Alive in perpetuity, which means for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought I was just named.
Let me ask you a question, brother.
Okay.
Am I alive?
Yeah.
I'm still alive. Am I still sexy?
Clearly.
You bet your sexy mouth I am. We're sharing.
We're going to share it.
We're sharing it. All right. Are you ready?
I'll take it.
Woo! Chris gained a lot of fame and followers for his shirtless scenes in Captain America and earned some sexy points for his many pics on Instagram posing with his pup. We all love a good pup pic.
And you know what he said? He was like, you know, I just want to have a wife and kids and a family. And it's like every woman like 35 and over is like ovaries are popping. It's so, I mean,
what do you mean?
It's a sexy thing to say, to be like he's open. He's just a real family, at home, down to earth.
All right, let me pose a question that will relax the ovaries. Okay. I'm going to pose this question. I don't mean to get serious here, but I brought it up earlier in the show, but I have to bring it back. If Chris Evans was out there Republican, voting Republican, would he be on the cover of People magazine?
No.
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 Would your ovaries be bursting?
No, he wouldn't. That's why Chris Pratt is not the Chris on this cover.
But that's kind of, I'm going back to the point I make, like when I'm talking about giving your political point of view, you can't be 100% honest in the media because it does affect your job.
Here's the
other caveat to that.
Let's go.
Okay, go ahead, Sam.
No,
apparently you want to do the show, so go ahead.
Please go ahead.
What, was that no good?
No, that was great. I was going to say to your point, because that's really interesting. If you look at you being Chris Evans as Chris Pratt as a business, no different than a business would be McDonald's or something like that. They also do not give their political opinions for just that reason. They want to get as many people into the door as they can, and they don't want you to know. They're very, like, In and Out is more like, hey, we let people know how we feel. Or
but Chris Pratt did.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's kind of, unfortunately, what's going to happen. It's going to make people be more like, here's the storefront, but we're not going to let you know what's inside.
Or it's going to go the other way, like Nike and Colin Kaepernick, where they're going to make a choice. And
right, but Nike's got enough leverage to sit on that. Like when people, you know, their stocks went down and they yawned. You know, but other people, I think maybe that's how celebrities are going to start treating it, like a business, and just saying our business is like we sell French fries, but we don't tell you like who the person making them, how they feel about it.
Yeah, you have to do that.
I think that'll backfire, actually.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
because if you say you're Republican, you get ousted.
No,
if you say you're Democrat, you get the cover of People magazine.
It depends, though. I do. I look at Chris Pratt. He's still getting roles. Does he get slammed on Twitter disproportionately from Chris Evans? 1,000% I agree with you. But he's not being canceled by any means.
That's true. He's Mario in the new Mario. That's true.
But you scoffed at him as soon as it came up. But he's got a different image now.
He does.
He has a different image now.
Yes. But I do think people also can use politics to their advantage. You look at certain celebrities, whether it be Lizzo, whether it be whoever it may be, and because of their very empowered speeches, whether it be at an award show, even some people might not like it, in my opinion, it's raised the bar for them.
But name one person from the Republican side in Hollywood that accepts an award and does some sort of Republican speech. Any speech that you give or candidate that you support is from the Democratic side in Hollywood.
Specifically.
In Hollywood.
But I mean, for sure.
But
so it affects
in the real world, there are a lot of I mean, you can argue most of the NFL owners are conservative. There's a big conservative base, 70 million people, so they buy stuff too. They buy coffee too. They buy fast food too. And if you align with them, you can eat just as well as if you do with the Democrats. Sorry.
Well, I just hammer that point home a lot, and people might not know what I'm talking about. And that specifically is what I'm talking about.
It's a great example. Okay, so we're going to move on to Sylvester Stallone because he's giving some insight into what caused his wife to file for divorce. Prompter.
They were into our convo, Sam. They were into our convo.
His wife, Jennifer Flavin, split up in August after 25 years of marriage, but got back together just a few weeks later. He told The Hollywood Reporter it was because he put his work ahead of his family. He called it, quote, a tragic mistake that won't happen again. You can't get those years back.
Yeah, but I don't get why this suddenly happened. It feels like something specific happened in this relationship. He got the tattoo removed, put his dog on it. They split so quickly. So I get that it's like a Tom Brady of you're choosing your career over the wife, but I wouldn't think that's now for Sylvester Stallone.
I think the only error in what you said, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk over you.
No, it's fine.
Is you're saying choosing, and that's kind of present. I think it's that maybe past tense that he chose.
But then why split now?
Because that erodes a relationship over the course of decades. If you've been gone out of the house, I can't imagine he set foot in his own home in the 80s. He was the most popular man in the world. You know, 90s, he was also very popular. So that's 20 years where you're kind of disconnected and like, oh, I love my wife, but like I haven't seen her in 4 weeks, I'm on set. I think the manifestation of that is what we saw in the last few months, which is just like probably two people that were strangers that weren't communicating well because they really hadn't taken the time to kind of re-heal that relationship that had been split because you happened to marry, or he happened to marry the most famous guy in the world at that time, the movie action star wise.
Yeah, it's give and take though, right? Because for him to fulfill his dreams, he probably wasn't home a lot of those years.
Absolutely.
Like you said, right? He's out filming 6 months at a time. And that's why you got to give back a little bit to your wife, but at the same time, the Tom Brady effect, he gave it all to his craft.
Right.
And so did Giselle. If you have two people going for that, it's not going to work out, right? One of them has to be kind of...
Right.
Sacrifice a little.
Yeah, sacrifice. I was going to say a different word that wouldn't have gone well there. Yeah, sacrifice.
Yeah.
So it does go give and take. If you want to be great at something, there's going to be a little give and take. Absolutely.
If you want to be the best actor in the world or the best supermodel or football player, there's going to be consequences. Right. It will affect your marriage. Right. I'm sorry. There's not one person out there raising a family that's going to be okay. They might present that it's okay. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be anger. When you're left to take care and sacrifice your own career to take care of your children while your spouse is out doing whatever they want to do for their own reasons, to me, there's never going to be a happy ending, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's a recipe. There's consequences. You know, everybody thinks because you're rich. You can't have everything. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So speaking of love and marriage, Jennifer Lopez says she's now legally Mrs. Affleck. Jen appears on the cover of the December issue of Vogue, where she revealed she took Ben's last name, although she said she will still be known as Jennifer Lopez professionally. Jen said it felt romantic to take Ben's name because it carries tradition with it. She was asked if she would ever want Ben to take her last name. She said no, because it would look like a power move.
What a dumb question.
I think it's not.
It's not?
No.
My friends did that. They took the female.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pushback. The fact that I never changed my name, now I feel like it's a little bit more normalized. But when we got married 15 whatever plus years ago, how many years ago was it? 12, 13 years ago, but we've been together for like 18. But there were people like, what? You're not taking Mark's last name?
Me too.
Yeah, but
it's a big deal.
I totally get that. Yeah. But having him change her name to Lopez, when does that happen? Never.
But because it's not normalized. Why can't it be? Why can't you create
because it's not
your own last name?
What do you mean it's not normalized?
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay, well, this is a hard one to take because less than 1% of the population that Tori might know the only person who did that. It's like, why would you ask that question? That's crazy. Like, hey, you wear Ben Affleck shoes?
I think too.
Well, I think because I'm not saying it's a gotcha question, but it's a question that has us talking. But it also, in the real world, we have not really seen that. We have a lot of young people that are going to be getting married. Maybe the generation that is in our showroom right now, maybe that'll be a thing. But for definitely my mom's generation, my grandmother's generation, you're taking their last name unless there's a professional situation. I remember even just hyphenating your last name was
which my friends did too.
So so things are moving forward, and now it's kind of like it's not surprising when people just keep their
One of our producers knows someone that made their own last name.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Because they couldn't decide whose name to take, so they combined their last names.
And you create a brand new name. My godbrother raised his kids Jewish, and they took
my neighbor across the street.
But he took the female's last name, and they raised it that way because it was a fair split. I think that's going to happen more and more.
We took our last names for our kids' middle names. So Sophie is Sophie Sandler. That's Mark's family's last name, and Miles is Miles Shocker Byron.
Oh, there you go.
I like that.
The Shocker lives on.
The Shocker
lives on.
Wow. Yes, it does. On bumper stickers everywhere.
All right, the Spice Girls are back together again. Well, sort of. There's Ginger, Posh, Baby, and Sporty. David Beckham recently shared this video of the girls who sang and danced to their 1996 hits.
Yeah, we assumed.
Say You'll Be There. Now, Jerry Hollowell's 50th birthday party, this is where it took place. The only Spice Girl not there was Mel B's Scary Spice.
That's like the video, when I saw that, I was like, the perfect video doesn't exist. Spice Girls dancing to Spice Girls?
Remember that one song?
Isn't that all you've seen them do?
When I saw this story, I was like, wow, we're out of stories.
No, this was huge. Girl power.
Girl power.
So
They're not even all there.
Yeah, but one's
She might be
missing.
working.
She's busy.
No,
busy.
if you're gonna have a reunion, everybody reunites.
Yes.
You can't do a half story.
Yeah.
It's like
It
your
wasn't a
cousin's
reunion.
godmother saw the Spice Girls. Well, they weren't all there.
It was a birthday
It was just
party.
a birthday, and seeing them all almost all together
we got it.
dancing was
well, it
exciting.
meant something to me.
And me as well.